Hello, I'm Anjali Bhimani, and this is Searched and Answered, where I will answer the most searched questions on Reddit about me. I'm so afraid. Oh no. Okay. How did you get started in voice acting? How did I get started in voice acting? Really, I have to go back a little bit for context. Professionally, I started acting right after college because I went to theater school at Northwestern. Theater school where I learned to really work on my voice and to treat that as a craft. So flash forward to when I started going out on voice acting auditions, which wasn't until way later, which was recently, like in the last decade. So really what got me started in voice acting was acting. I wish it was a cooler story. I just started auditioning and then I was very lucky because some of my first few jobs have been also some of the most incredible jobs that I've had. What's it like working with the Critical Role and Dimension 20 teams? It's like awesome. It's wonderful. I don't have enough words to express how both companies and both teams and both casts and everybody are so welcoming and so lovely and so excited. That was the real thing. Like, it's not just the sense of like, oh, you're welcome to be here as a guest. No, it's the sense of, oh, we're so excited to play with you, which is great because I'm so excited to play with them. Everybody's just excited to be there and everybody is so grateful to be doing what we're doing together. I've always wanted my entire career just to make cool things with cool people that I really enjoy spending time with. And this is the perfect culmination of that. What was it like acting in Ms. Marvel as Auntie Ruby? Okay, well, first of all, let's just talk about what happens when you get a call saying, hey, you're gonna be part of the Marvel universe. I'm sorry, what? It's awesome. But then, on top of it, to know that I was gonna be a part of this particular story of Ms. Marvel, which meant so much to me and so many communities on so many different levels, not just because of the culture that was being represented, but because Ms. Marvel, Kamala Khan, she's everyone. She's us. She's a fan. She loves being a part. She's so excited. She's a fan of Captain Marvel. She's like all of us. And she also, like so many of us, is finding her way and figuring out how to step into her power. And so knowing that we were going to be able to tell this story of our South Asian community and be able to tell the story of this one girl who was kind of like every man, every woman, every person, that alone was exciting. I remember being on set at I don't remember how late it was. It must have been like 2 o'clock in the morning and we were freezing and we were shooting a scene where we were outside and I couldn't have been happier to be there. And I clocked that. I was like, my body is miserable, but I am so happy. And then on top of it, to be able to be the cool auntie, oh boy. What is the most meaningful fan interaction you have ever had? I remember meeting this young woman and her brother was on the spectrum, and this was during the beginning of Overwatch, during the first few years. And my character, Symmetra, is also on the spectrum. She told me that her brother had been nonverbal until he started playing Overwatch. And all of a sudden he was connecting with these characters and he started playing them and he started communicating a little bit more. And just the fact that these characters and this story could be a part of another person's story in such an amazing way that could literally be the thing that, you know, it's not the cure, it's not the thing that did it all by itself, but it was just maybe that last thing that tipped into him seeing the hero in himself and being able to step out and being able to converse and being able to connect with other people. I mean, that is a constant reminder of how important it is that we all treat our voice and how we go about in the world and how we walk through the world, that we all treat it with great care and gratitude and responsibility, because you never know whose life you are going to affect, whether in a wonderful way or in an awful way. You never know. And any one interaction, any one tiny thing that you can do can completely change a person's day, let alone it could also change their life. You don't know. A conversation at the grocery store could change someone's life. You don't know. So I keep them in my mind a lot, along with so many other people that have either come up to me at conventions or on the street or wherever and said, hey, this story you were a part of, or this character that you created, or whatever, made such a difference in my life. And yeah, it makes me really, really proud and excited to get to do what I do. And it's what gets me up in the morning, period. What inspired you to write your book, I Am Fun Size and So Are You? Okay, this is a fun one. For a while in like the 2015-ish, 15, 16 time period, I had really wanted to do something that was like a blog or a vlog or something that was specifically for a community. And I was trying to figure out like what community do I belong to that feels like it needs to be serviced better? And I happen to be a petite individual, which is why I'm wearing these heels. So I thought at first it would be something, oh, this is gonna be like a fashion blog for petite women or whatever, but something kept telling me that doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel embracing enough. It doesn't feel big enough. So I booked and recorded this game called Overwatch that many of you know. And when I did, I was suddenly introduced to the most incredible online community of gamers and artists and cosplayers and writers and people who were so generous with their stories and with their art. And there was one night when I did a Fan Art Friday and I said, oh, you know, guys, let's do Fan Art Friday and let me see what you've got. And I, for some reason, did it on a Thursday night. Don't ask me why. But then Friday morning, all of a sudden, there were all of these pieces of art that came at me from artists of all levels, of all kinds, of all backgrounds. Some were extraordinary and some were obviously people just starting for the first time, but they wanted to contribute. And that was the straw that broke the camel's back, where I was like, Anjali, you got to get off your ass and do something for people and stop worrying about it being perfect, because you just asked a question and all of these people just threw their offerings to you. They were so lovely. So I realized the one thing that I have to offer this online community, the community at large, is my own stories, my own experiences, and how I have lived through them, whether gracefully or ungracefully, whether I slid into home with a huge victory or I just fell flat on my face, whatever it was, I had those stories to share. So I decided to turn I Am Fun Size and So Are You into a web series. And it took off and people really liked it. And so in 2021, I finally listened to a lot of the folks who had hit me up online asking me to write the book. And I did. I ran a Kickstarter for it, which went really, really well. So it proved to me that the community really wanted it and was excited to see it. And I wrote it between 4:30 a.m. and 8:30 a.m. for 3 weeks, or maybe it was 4 a.m. and 8 a.m. Anyway, I wrote it, spit it all out, got it on the page. Vivian Truong illustrated it. I started a publishing company to do it myself because I didn't really love how the traditional publishing system works. And that's it. And now there's a book out with me and my dog. You can literally email me directly at Anjali@IamFunsize.com, because that's where I take the questions and input for the series and for future books. So send it on in. Send me pictures of your dogs. I need more pictures of dogs. Email me pictures of your dogs and my life will be better, and I will thank you for it. Thank you. Thank you for your service.
Amazing. Thank you so much.